Hi, I'm Jonathan Smith with Prestige Yacht Sales. You can call or text me at 860-514-3763 or email me at jsmith@prestigeyaachtsales.net. Today we're looking at a Pearson 39. Nice boat. Current owners had it since 2012. There are some moist deck issues like these all have. Water gets in underneath the tow rail, and it appears to have been stabilized. It was there when the owner bought it in 2012. She had it follow-up inspection in 2016, which showed it wasn't expanding. But you got to live with it. It's probably not worth fixing. You're not going to fall through the deck. Just that's the reason you can get a boat like this for such good money. We'll look at that closer in a little bit. All right, let's go aboard. Take a look around. Absolutely. It's actually a really nice looking boat when it's in the water. It really looks sharp on the dock. Got real nice lines. I like that rake transom. The rudder appears to be in good shape. I don't see any bulging from water getting in there. It's pretty common for water to find its way into rudders on all sailboats, and then eventually freezes and kind of causes a little bulging that you can see. But this one, I don't see any of that. But I'll leave the rest to the surveyor. You got a folding prop here, or a feathering prop, I should say. It looks like a flex fold. Feels pretty tight. And you got cutters in case you catch a lobster pot while you're running, and it should cut the line, prevent it from getting fouled. This is our keel. It is a centerboard. It's like sort of a keel centerboard model. The current owner never really uses the centerboard because you really only need it upwind, and there is a lot of keel under the water, so it's probably not that important. I'm sure if you're in deep enough water, you put it down, you'll gain a couple degrees upwind, but you know, it's definitely a big enough keel where you don't have to rely on the centerboard. Top sides are in decent shape. I think she's going to wax it next. There's a blade of bottom paint on here. I don't know if she's going to put more paint on. I don't think it needs it, you know. There's a blade of bottom paint. As long as you see blue, you're good. And there's no heavy paint buildup on this bottom. It's smooth, which means it's going to be fast. So I'm sure originally there was hard paint, but somebody along the lines stripped it all down. My guess, I can see gray underneath, a little gray under there. That's typically barrier coat. So somebody stripped it down, barrier coated it at some point. Yeah, you can see more gray. So it does need a little paint on this side, but there's not a lot of paint buildup. Yeah, that's barrier coat. That's good. Decent boat. Hey, my sign is still there. What do you know? Looking at the keel on the other side. Yeah, it's a decent boat if you can wrap your head around the moisture in the decks, which all the sailboats from the 80s have at some point, at some amount. If you're okay with that, you can get a deal. Get a lot of boat for the money. Go out and enjoy it. Let's take a look down below. The owner mostly has it ready to go, get launched for the season. The cushions were replaced. They're not original. They look nice. She still has her moisture capturing devices hanging around. Nothing is moldy or mildewy this season. It was really good. Nice galley, 3-burner propane stove with an oven. And big storage area here. Is that refrigeration? Yeah, there's a cold plate. That is the refrigerator. Probably freezer down below, refrigerator up above, top loading. This is the outboard. There's a motor mount in the rail for the dinghy. And here's our aft quarter berth. I'd call that a double, definitely a double if you needed it. So that's the aft stateroom with a storage locker, some drawers, quite a bit of storage. On the port side is the head, manual toilet, sink. Nice curtains all around. Here we have a nav station and our VHF and various electrical breakers. Good size salon. I mean, this is a 39-foot boat, so it's pretty big. Dinette area here. Those wood pieces are what goes around the mast once the mast goes in. It's a keel step mast, so the mast comes through. The wires get hooked up and it mounts down here. And here's some of our rigging. But yeah, the fabric's nice. It's a medium blue, tweedy type of material. You can see. All right, up forward, our other head, also with a manual toilet, sink. And the sinks pull out and they hang and become showers, and there is a rail up there to hang a shower curtain if you wanted to. And then here's our V-berth up forward, and that piece there lifts up and sits in those little pieces of wood there and fills in the V-berth if you needed to. And we have more storage in here as well. Yeah, I'm not going to unclip that, but a nice hanging locker and some drawers here as well. Outlets all around, solar fan. This boat does have that environmental stress cracking in the plastic and a number of these hatches, these Lumar hatches. That can be replaced. It's not a structural issue, it's just cosmetic. Still lets the light in. I wouldn't worry about it, but if you wanted to, you can replace those. Not all of them have it, but you know, I've actually seen some of those Lumar hatches only 1 or 2 years old get that. So it really just depends on the batch of plastic when they were made. So a number of storage areas behind here and under here, if I recall. I can't remember if there's tanks. Actually, there's tanks under there, I believe. More storage on the starboard side. Yeah, a lot of room on this boat. And for a good price. You just got to be okay with the deck issues, which honestly, I'd say just go use it like the current owner does. Don't worry about it too much. Quick look at the electronics. We got an Raytheon RL70C. The C means color, and that's a GPS chart plotter. And then there's a couple Tactic units, which are wireless units. And more details of those are in the description. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then here's a Raytheon autopilot control down there. We have a teak table that flips up. Lumar 55 self-tailing winches, primary winches for the Genoa sheets. And we have self-tailing winches up here for a main sheet, the jib furler. The centerboard controls up here. This is a centerboard boat, so although the current owner pretty much leaves it up all the time and gets along pretty well with it. And then this is your halyard winch here. You got a couple chrome or stainless door rads to provide passive ventilation, and there is a windlass up forward as well. This is the hard bottom inflatable. I think she would include this in the deal, this in the outboard. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm sure for the right deal she would include it. I'm not sure the brand. Bottom's painted. I'm not going to wrestle with it right here. There it is. It's up on the deck right now for the winter. This boat was covered. Cover just recently came off. That's why we still have this backbone here. And its bracket locked up. Mercury 5 horse with a built-in fuel tank. We're out here. Here's a deep locker to port with shore power cords and extra fuel tanks, fenders, boat accessories. I'm sure a lot of this stuff actually comes out when the boat gets put in the water and put away. And then on the starboard side, there's a shallow locker. It's shallow on this side because there's a stateroom underneath there. Place for winch handles, dock lines, small stuff. As mentioned, all these Pearson 39s end up with moisture in the deck. I don't know if you can see, it's hard for me in the sunlight, but you probably see it on the camera. Kind of spider cracking coming out from the tow rails. And it's pretty much the whole length. And once the bedding on the tow rail went, which probably happened back in the 80s or 90s, water can get into the core deck. And so it runs all along both sides. Looking at the port side now. Here it comes out a little further. Let's see the spider cracking. So that's likely delaminated as well. Doesn't prevent the current owner from using the boat, but I'm not sure it's worth fixing either. And so silicone sealant has been put, you can see it here, between the tow rail and the deck to try to prevent more water from getting in. Although with the balsa core deck, 10 grain balsa, water kind of goes only so far and it stops. So it's probably stabilized, but it'll always be there. Unless you did some major surgery, which if you know what you're doing, you did it yourself, it'd be worth doing. But if you hired somebody, it would cost a lot of money. May not be worth it. All right, so I've got 2 survey reports. One when the current owner bought the boat in 2012 that describes the problem in words, and then the same surveyor came back in 2016 after the owner put the sealant down and stabilized things. And seems to me that the survey deck inspection kind of indicated the similar situation as in 2012. So owner feels like it's stabilized. Like I said, it doesn't prevent you from using the boat, but it's the reason the boat is only, you know, we're only asking what, 35,000 for it. So something in a 3 will take this boat. Something starting with a 3, 30,000, 31, I'm not sure exactly what. But you know, if it didn't have the deck moisture issues, it'd be a $65,000, $70,000 boat. So there you go. And one more thing, pretty much all boats from the 80s, sailboats from the 80s, have deck moisture issues somewhere. Whether it's coming in through the stanchions or the Genoa tracks, they all have moisture in the deck. So pick your poison. And it's how you can get a lot of boat for the money, is by buying a boat of this era. And just go enjoy it, is what I think. I've never seen anybody fall through a deck. Okay. Once again, I'm Jonathan Smith with Prestige Yacht Sales. Call or text me at 860-514-3763 or email me at jsmith@prestigeyahtsales.net if you have any questions about this boat. I get so many inquiries about this boat. It's unreal. You know, it's like 4 or 5 a week. Because it's a lot of boat for the money, and people aren't reading into my listing far enough to read a little bit about the wet decks, but it's common for this model, and they're still out there sailing. So if you're okay with it, we'll set up a showing. If not, don't bother me, because I'm getting too many calls on this boat. I need somebody serious that's not afraid of a little bit of moisture in the deck like all these boats from the 80s have. And yeah, we'll go from there. You could be out sailing in this thing. Otherwise, it's got repowered engine, newer electronics, new cushions, outboard dinghy. It's a good boat. All right, hope to hear from you soon if you're serious. Thanks, bye.